Who are the West Coast Avengers and why are they formed in the first place in comics and how this is going to be introduced into the MCU? So in the comics, what happens is that Secret Wars event actually happens and a bunch of Avengers actually teleport there outside of like Hawkeye and a couple others. At this time right now, Mockingbird is actually married with Hawkeye. I think she's a Skrull at that point. Spoilers, I can't remember exactly, but I think she was already up from the 1980s up until the 2000s. But Vision contacts Hawkeye and makes him make a compound in the West Coast. So the Avengers are, when the Avengers are gone right now, they're the main Avengers team, but they're really just called the West Coast Avengers. And Hawkeye recruits Wonder Man, Iron Man, which is, this is not Tony, this is actually Rhodey, which is kind of funny because this is before War Machine, he got the suit. And Tigra. I don't know, this art's crazy. And so that is the West Coast Avengers team. I think later on in the ongoing run, I'm still reading that right now, I believe Tony joins this roster too. But it's basically just like mid to street level heroes making a West Coast team. Pretty cool if you ask me. Now in the MCU, I would say this will probably be the new Avengers squad like you saw in Thunderbolts. But Sam's team seems like it's going to be the bunch of, I guess, rejects, which is kind of crazy because the new Avengers are like being plastered everywhere on the news in terms of the MCU. And with Secret Wars right around the corner, I mean like legit in 2-3 years, let's see what Sam's team can actually be. So I think Rhodey will be an awesome choice just because he was in the original West Coast Avengers squad. I think it makes total sense. Same thing with Wonder Man, especially the Wonder Man TV show is coming up right now in December. I could be wrong, but it'd be interesting. Another member will probably be She-Hulk. She'll probably take the spot of Tigra because they haven't really introduced Tigra yet in the MCU. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then probably Shang-Chi. Probably going to get other characters as well, like Thor and Captain Marvel and stuff. But I could see this happening, at least for the street tier characters. But the West Coast Avengers is actually a pretty cool team because I've always thought like the lesser known characters in the Avengers, like the street tier side or maybe the mid tier side, have always been really interesting to me than the main Avengers squad. Who knows? Maybe Hawkeye in the MCU will return and he creates his own West Coast Avengers squad. Who knows? That can actually happen too because I think the actor who plays Hawkeye might return. I don't know. But there's just some things that are different from the comics to the MCU. But, you know, you get the gist that they're taking inspirations from, like, different books and stuff, which is really cool. I hope that answers your question, and I hope you guys learn a couple things. Peace.